Peace to all the guys and goddesses of Planet Ka. Peace meaning positive elevation. All positive energy always creates elevation. Love and peace to everybody. Hope y'all all have had an amazing Christmas. Hope y'all all got to see family and all. Do all the things that you like to do on Christmas. Don't forget that this season is about Jesus. Don't ever forget the reason for the season. Let's not forget what God made this holy day about and what this holy day is about, which is Jesus. And the fact that it is still December, which is always important to stay in the word, but since it is December, well, it's always important to stay in the scriptures regardless, but we're going to definitely be talking out of speaking from the text of Jesus today, or some more text from Jesus. We are in the book of Matthew, and we were just talking about in the last video where it was talking about how Jesus heals a man with leprosy. Now we're talking about Jesus healed many people in the Bible, right? Jesus healed many people in the Bible. When evening came, many who were demon-possessed were brought to him, and he drove out the spirits with a word and healed all of the sick. This was to fulfill what was spoken through the prophet Isaiah. He took up our infirmities and bore our diseases. When Jesus saw the crowd around him, he gave orders to cross the other side to the lake. Well, hold on one second, y'all. Right here, Jesus talks about healing Peter's mother-in-law who had a fever, and he says that he took up our infirmities and bore our diseases. So Jesus says there's nothing, no sickness, no illness too powerful, no sickness spirit, no sickness entity, nothing too powerful for Jesus. He says he took up our infirmities and bore our diseases. He took up our infirmities on the cross and bore our diseases when he came here, living throughout as a man, but being as a form of God. So when he came in the flesh of a human, he bore our diseases and he took up our infirmities when he sacrificed himself on the cross for us. Excuse me, y'all. When Jesus saw the crowd around him, he gave orders to cross to the other side of the lake. Then a teacher of the law came to him and said, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus replied, "Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." Another disciple said to him, but Jesus told him, "Follow me and let the dead bury their own." So I feel like this, y'all. Jesus is trying to tell us that we can't let anything hold us back from following Jesus wholeheartedly, even if that is something as far as troubling things like sorrow and things. We have to lay up our mat or pick up our mat and go out and follow Jesus through matter anything we're going through, y'all. No matter what's going on at that point in time, we have to pick up our mat and continue on going and fighting for Jesus and doing what we're supposed to for him, because that is the cost of following Jesus. That is what Jesus asked of us. That's what he wants us to do, and we must follow him to the full faithfulness of us, even though it gets tough and we're not perfect. So don't forget that we're not perfect and we are human. So if you do fall on sorrow or things that we're all human and we'll all be led from Jesus, basically. So we're not Jesus. We're Jesus. basically, from the word. So then he got into the boat, and his disciples followed him. Suddenly, a furious storm came up on the lake, so that the waves swept over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we're going to drown." He replied, "You have little faith, why are you so afraid?" Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. The wind were amazed and asked, "What kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him." And Jesus, you know what? Jesus, this isn't explained in the verse, but I always like to go a little deeper in the text than what's surface, because I feel like a lot of Christianity, today is surface, and it doesn't really go into the deep knowledge of what the Bible really has to offer. Because this is the way, the truth, and the life. This book has the knowledge to every single piece of the universe. And right here it says, Jesus was asleep when this storm was going on, right? If we all know something, right? If you're troubled in a certain incident, you're gonna be awoken before something happens. Everybody that's ever, or people that go through things, it's like they know it before they even go through it. Sometimes people are shown what's happening, or what's before somebody even goes through something, they could be shown what's happening. And that happens a lot, y'all. So the fact that Jesus woke up, or the fact that Jesus didn't wake up even before this happened, right, is what really makes me think maybe Jesus, through saying, "You of little faith, why are you so afraid?" He's saying like, why are you so worried about the storm? Of course, the Son of God is here, and have faith in him, and the storm will don't be nothing. You should be afraid of nothing when you got the Son of God with you. But I feel like that, to go deeper, y'all, if you think about it, Jesus would have been awoken if it was real danger. If it was a real danger, Jesus would have been awoken before the pack, trying to cease the problems and danger. But he was asleep the whole time until they awoke him, for him to show him this, to give him this divine quote and phrasing. But I also think he was trying to say, I also think it was symbolizing to show them that they didn't even need to wake him up. Like, they had the power of Jesus that he came to give, or to present, that we just have to have faith and tune in to Christ and to the Holy Spirit, and we can cast out any unholiness and unrighteousness all by ourselves. Not saying we don't need Jesus, but God says Jesus came, and maybe in the synchronicity, this is all my speculation and thoughts, but he could have showed all this, and not becoming awake before it even happened, to show that yes, we need to have faith, but also us, with the power of him and the power of God, we can tune in and cast out anything that's not of God. You know what I mean? So maybe it was just sometimes we just gotta have faith, and it could be as simple as that. But it could also be that, it's much deeper, and he was trying to show him, like, y'all should have just had faith the whole time, and y'all wouldn't even need to awaken me. And we could have let Jesus have some peaceful sleep on the boat. But anyway, y'all, when he arrived at the other side, in the region of the When he arrived at the other side in the region of the Gadarenes, 2 demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him. They were so violent that no one could pass that way. "What do you want with us, Son of God?" they shouted. "Have you come to torture us before the appointed time?" When he arrived at the other side in the region of Gadarenes, 2 demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him. Then the whole town went out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they pleaded with him to leave their region. So Jesus commanded these demons out. He said, "Go, leave," and they left and went into pigs, and the pigs ran off the cliff. The tongue has the ability to speak life and death, and has more power than any sword, machine gun, anything will ever have, y'all. So we just gotta remember, y'all, that it's all about teaching and preaching the right way and the right wisdom and truth. And Jesus did nothing but that the whole time he was here. We need to be more like Jesus for sure, and more like the people of even more recent time, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, people, Gandhi. He's a little older. Just everybody that was speaking the truth, the peace and love. We need to go back and see what everybody that was speaking the truth, peace and love. We need to go back and read of their text and see and read the right tranquility to be able to bring that amongst nations and amongst the people today, because that's what it's about, building up and not tearing down. Because today, that's all people want to do is tear each other down, y'all, and cause problems to each other. We need to uplift each other, build and help each other, not cause problems to each other, but help build and help each other be able to sustain and make something of this land that God given us and that he built for us. See, we're so caught up in technology and all this stuff that we are of today that we don't even appreciate the things that God really only cares about, which is what he created, us and this planet. All this other stuff we built. So why would God care about something we built? Yeah, he appreciates what we're creating. He aids into what we're creating. He helps us because we're his children and we're to do things for him and of him, and we're of God. But he don't care about these things, y'all. All he cares about is us humans, what he developed and made, and the world that he built around us. He says upkeep the plants, the things around us, and ourselves. Our body's a temple.